Hello everyone, welcome to my first premiere. A chance to interact and ask questions and receive answers in real time. Chance for us to get together. I'm doing this as part of a Workshop Wednesday video, or as a Workshop Wednesday video, because it is a kit building video. This still that we're looking at here on my computer is from last week's Trains on Tuesday, and a number of times in that video this building, this grey building here with the green masking tape on it, showed up. That is a grain silo. It's only part of a kit. It's something I got second hand and it was falling apart, so hence the tape. Anyway, after I had shot that video, I started doing a rebuild on that, and pretty soon after I got going on it, I thought, well, I should film this and do something with it. So for today, that is what we're going to be doing. We'll take a look at how I rebuilt this grain silo. For the dockyard area, I have this grain silo. I got this from my friend John's estate. I'm not sure what kit it is. It had another piece on the front here. I could see where it had been sawn off. I've looked in catalogues and stuff and I can't find the kit, so I don't know if it's a Walthers kit or who makes it. If anybody knows, let me know. When I got it, it was kind of in pieces. John had been putting it together what I would call kind of rough. The windows he had spray painted silver, and then glued them in with the paint still on around the edges. No, just had to touch them and they fell out, and the doors. So I've had those all out, scraped the paint off, glued them back in, done that. And part of what I want to do with this is put some lighting in it. These were Susanna's Poundland lights, and the way I fit these in is I take a drinking straw and poke them up through, get them all in there. Then when you turn them on, you get a diffused light coming from there. So I did a test, and the light bled through the plastic, even with it being in the straw. So what I did is I painted the inside black to stop the light bleeding, and then I hot glued my straw on there, put the lights in, did another test in the dark, and I got a massive hot spot from a light right here shining through. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray paint with a dark color down the tube, possibly from both ends, and all the way around this tube, and probably a little bit more inside here. And then I'm going to use a second straw, glue a second straw on, and hopefully that will cut down on the light bleed. We'll see. Well, that has been done. The first straw I had glued on there, I've spray painted inside it and outside it, and added another straw. So that gives me a barrier, a light barrier between where the lights will be in that straw and the rest of the silo there. There's a little bit of a barrier there. I've assembled the main silo, glued it all together, and so now we move on to the header house. That's got to come apart and Windows reset in it, because you only just have to touch those and they pop right out. You can't glue paint. Okay, on to the next. As I mentioned before, the kit had not been put together all that well by the original owner of it, and so it comes apart quite easily. The roof popped off and one wall out. The acetate windows had all fallen off inside. They were just lying inside there. This one here I have filed off or scraped off the silver paint that was on there, cleaned up the inside, and I'm ready for a little glue. There we go. Just make sure they look straight. Once that glue sets up, they will not be falling out of there again, quite sure. So let's just see how this is going to go. Oh, there we go. That came off of there easy enough. Just a little bit of working on here. That one started to go. Resisting a little bit. You never know where the glue got to and where it didn't. Well, I'm quite sure that'll come apart anyway. Let's see what happens with these windows. See that? Slight pressure and they pop out. It's no good trying to glue paint. So anyway, that's what I'm up to on this stage. So we'll carry on, and when this is ready for reassembly, then we can put a hole in the base and run a light up into there as well. Okay, catch you in the next phase. Well, I've got the windows all put back in there and three sides put back together. Just Got to put the acetate in this one, and then it'll all have to be blacked out, painted over with black paint inside. Do the middle one first. Now I hadn't looked at the dust extractor too closely until I got working on the windows and doors around it. And boy, has that ever been put together badly. I'll show you what I mean in a moment here. There we go. A couple more little pieces to go on there, and I've got to shave that off just a bit where it overhangs. There we go. Hope you can see this. There we go, that seals those in. Now the dust extractor. When I first looked at the dust extractor, it looked fine, but then I noticed that there was quite a step in the joint, a big step. And I also noticed that the grooves here that sit on the brackets weren't actually on the brackets, it was twisted around. And the cap was on twisted, not quite that bad. Anyway, I filed all this down. It's not quite round anymore, but it certainly looks better. And then I took the cap off, and I don't know if you can see just how badly out of line that was. Not round at all. So I'm going to be cutting that off. I'll cut that right off. I'll see if I can separate the two pieces and put them back together and put it on. If not, I'll use a piece of sprue. So that's the next thing we're going to do. Okay, that's done. Nice and round now. And I put the drain pipe thing on there. So now all I've got to do is attach the cap nice and level. And I'm going to give it a coat of paint, and we'll be ready to get that back onto the building. The building itself is, the header house is complete, all blacked out inside. And what I've done, I'm going to turn the lights on here. What I've done on the main building is I've mounted an LED up through there, and I've put, I don't know if you can see those, some light deflectors to soften the light on the bottom end where the bulb is, and with the LED, and spread the light right through the the whole tower, so everything looks fairly even. So the light looks fairly even throughout the building there. I'll quickly whip and turn the lights out. Now, if we didn't have these ones in the way, and there you can see some light in the building. So we're coming along. My Woodland Scenics stone grey paint didn't stick too well, so I've masked up the windows and doors, and I did a test section there of a light grey spray primer, and I'm going to do the rest of it. So we'll take a look at that when that's done. Paint is the great revealer. These joints didn't look too bad until I got the paint on. This is the back side of the building. It'll be against the wall, so I'm not going to worry about those. But the front ones, I put in some filler. Now I'm starting to sand that down. So then it'll be back to painting again. I think it'll be better. We shall see. Here's what I've used for filler. Squadron Tools Green Putty. Pretty good stuff. Okay, I think for the purposes of this video, we'll call that done with the paint. I'll just quickly go over what paints I used. Again, Woodland Scenic Stone Grey. That turned out to be too dark, and it's been watered down, I think, in there. It's one I got in a job lot, so it didn't stick too well. The pipework here has been done with just a crafter's burnt sienna. I ended up doing a top coat because this was the spray paint I used. Rust Protection Primer. That was still a little too dark. So I got myself some of this very light grey, and I went over basically as a wash with a light grey. Since then I have taken the original stone grey and just dirtied it up a little bit around the base. Anyway, like I say, that's that. All we got left to do is the lights, really, I think. So, just tuck that up there. There's my air conditioner cutting in. Poke that up through there. That one comes out the top. Don't take it out too much. Now this hole I drilled in here is a really nice tight fit for this. So all I have to do is just wiggle it in nice and tight, and that's that. That's going that way around. Now, as with a lot of kits I build, I don't intend to glue everything together. The top like that, if it will stay pressed in, that's good. And for the tower, again, leave the top off and just press in. For power, I just had an old battery pack and a switch, and so just turn that on and there's the lights in there. We'll have a look at it in the dark in a moment, and I can just tuck that up inside there for now. No harm. I may eventually wire it in into the layout system. Anyway, yeah, we'll go put it in position and see how it looks. So there we go. Okay, we can see the lights in there, although that looks pretty dark all around. There will be additional lighting around. It looks pretty good to me. So that takes its place at the dockyard where the grain is unloaded prior to loading onto ships. I've got that one to build now. I've had that one for quite a few years. That's going to be a big one. I don't know if I can fit it in there. It's going to take some work, that one. And it joins this one here. This has lights in it too. They're very dim. They're very dim lights, just a very subtle yellowy light shining through the windows there. Okay folks, I hope you enjoyed the premiere. Please let me know either in the chat or in the comments whether you'd like to do this again. Perhaps we can do it for the building of that one. That's a big one. Okay, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again another time. Bye for now.